Hello, hello. Today I'm going to be trying out some new makeup. I'm so excited. I haven't bought new makeup in like years. I'm also just getting over like a really bad sickness. I was processing some just trauma, grief, all of this stuff, and the Chinese strongly believe, and which I agree with it, because we're souls with a body, not a body with a soul. But they believe that you carry grief in your lungs. And so I was processing some really sad things that made me feel like I was grieving them. Anyway, needless to say, it literally showed in my 3D world that I was holding a lot of grief stored in my chest. And so as I was working through this and as I was processing it, my outer world started displaying just like things that I had been grieving and hadn't allowed myself the full time to actually grieve them. But today I'm going to kind of be talking about that, how we are souls with a body, and how we're an extension of God, and the different ways that our souls show what they're processing in our physical world. So I'm so excited. So I haven't bought new makeup in years, as I was saying. And so a lot of my makeup is old and probably like actually really expired and should be thrown, but I can't get myself to part with it because I also like don't exactly have the funds to buy a lot of new makeup. But I went on Amazon and I found some really cheap like K-beauty brands and just like beautiful palettes. I'm so excited to get into them. And then I got this cream face cream palette from Catrice. So excited about that. I got a new foundation, which I'm so excited about as well. And then these are the two palettes that I got. I am so beyond excited about these palettes. I cannot even begin to tell you. So I'm going to begin with trying out the foundation. I hope this is my shade because yeah. I love shopping online, but like not being able to pick out shades is terrifying. That's why I usually will buy like a really light foundation and a darker foundation. Then I can kind of like transition between summer and winter. I love being out in the sun. Speaking about the sun, so one of the things that I have been dealing with is depression and prenatal depression. And so that's depression while you were pregnant. And I'm gonna see. Okay, you know what, we can make it work. I'm just gonna go in with the sponge that they send along and hope for the best. But one of the things that I've been doing is trying to use the earth and the stuff around me to like heal my depression. And I don't want to say heal. I want like treat my depression. And so, for example, I will try to eat pineapples and oranges while sitting out in the sun because that heals your sacral and your solar plexus chakra. So there's this really cool thing about the human body, and that's it. By the way, this foundation is beautiful. I don't mean to just like bypass the fact that it's absolutely stunning. But so your body has 7 energy centers, and these energy centers are actually tied to hormones. So your sacral chakra, for example, is tied to your serotonin, which is your hormone center. And interestingly enough, when you face depression, it's actually your sacral and your solar plexus chakra. So your I feel safe center and your I'm allowed to be me center. Those are the ones that are affected by depression. It's the way. So essentially think of it this way. You've got these energy centers, and like your root chakra is tied to your reproductive system. So like your uterus and so on and so forth. And that is often associated with the color red or like a brown, or like a black, I should say, really dark colors. And in nature, when you eat something that is red, or even hold crystals that are that color, it actually helps feed that center. Okay, I do not like this thing. So I'm actually going to go in with my wet sponge and just tap out the marks that that thing was leaving. So in nature, let's say that you eat like beets. Beets are super, super good for that hormone center, that root chakra, that your energy center that is tied to that hormone or to those hormones. So then it goes to your sacral chakra, which is where your serotonin, your happy hormones, those would be tied with the color orange, and anything in nature that is orange will feed that center. So like oranges, for example, your body will literally feel safe by eating orange foods, sweet potatoes, oranges, papayas, so on and so forth. Yellow being your I am center or your energy center. This is tied to like the spleen, so your energy center, and just your sense of identity. And so like lemons and pineapples and yellow food and yellow crystals are good for that center, which is so cool. And I just think it's like so, I love numbers, and I always see God in numbers. By the way, the foundation is super, super dewy, like really, really hydrating, which I'm not complaining about because I have really dry skin. So I'm excited to try this out. I'm excited to see how it wears. With it being a little dewier, I don't know if it'll be super long wearing. There's like this protective film on this. It's like stuck on there. I might actually kind of preserve it just so that it does stay a little fresher, since these are cream products. Their heart, that's often tied with green. So like your lymphatic system would be tied to this energy center, your heart, your lungs, like the breath of life, think trees, oxygen, that kind of thing. I didn't even talk about what other organs are tied to. Like, so in the solar plexus one, your yellow center, that one would be tied to the kidneys, the liver, your gallbladder, so like your bile, stuff like that. And so like, let's say that you have a tummy ache at the top of your tummy, you would eating lemons with or taking lemon juice and squeezing it into water with a little bit of salt will actually kind of help with energy, along with clearing out toxins that are slowing down your energy. For green food, eating stuff like cucumbers, super hydrating for your veins. Also kind of looks like the nervous system. And then your throat chakra, which is blue, is tied to thyroid. So drinking stuff like the butterfly tea that was going around for a while, like everyone was going crazy over it. Drinking something like that, eating blueberries, like all of that is good for your thyroids. And so that would be tied to your hormones. So like any of these centers, like if you feel like your voice is being shut down, your thyroids will be shut down, and that will actually reflect in gaining weight. I used to be 100 pounds heavier, and it was because my throat chakra felt so blocked by life. Like I wasn't allowed to speak my truth. And it reflected in my outside world. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this light shade here, just on my sponge. I'm gonna go in with the shade beside it, this one right here. So it will feel like you're not heard, and I didn't feel seen. And it also comes from overprotection, like feeling like you want to protect yourself, weight gain. And then your third eye center, or your pineal gland, is often fed by indigo colored things. So like blueberries would also work for the center, and purple colored things, so like passion flower and blackberries. Like blackberries quite literally look like a pineal gland, like kind of like that cone shape, or the pineal gland. Pine is super good for the pineal gland, or the pineal gland as well. And what's so crazy is like they've known this stuff for centuries. Like they've been teaching this stuff in mystery schools and in ancient Egypt, and like there's pictures everywhere of this stuff. And science is just now catching up with it. Like they're discovering that that part of your body releases melatonin and a few other hormones. That part is connected to your intuition, or your all-seeing eye. And then there's the pituitary gland, and that one is connected to your crown chakra, and holding things like quartz crystals and just high frequency crystals like that will actually heighten your sense of connection to God. And when these hormone centers are off, for example, if you struggle with dandruff, you actually feel like you're either undernourishing yourself, so God actually can't flow through you. You will feel disconnected to God. You will there's just, your body displays these symptoms. And so this is kind of what I'm trying to do, is try to eat the colors of the rainbow every day. And I'm not perfect. I'm also pregnant, and so some days I feel like eating a sub and not eating the colors of the rainbow. Red cabbage is another great thing for your pineal gland, or your third eye. Like all of these things, what's crazy is because if you cut red cabbage up, like it looks like a freaking brain. It looks like that center. And it looks like stuff that ancient mystics have been drawing for so many years. I stopped putting God into a religious box of just the Bible. Oh, I found out that the church, the Catholic Church, like they took so much of the real Bible out of the teachings that were just written, and they compiled it to make this system that people fall in line with. And Jesus is one of my guides. I love Jesus so much. Like my relationship with Jesus, I love Jesus. But I also think that he was more of an example than the savior of the world, per se. Like, it's easier to sit there and be like, I'm going to put all of these awful things that I'm doing onto the cross, than it is to say, I want to have a mindset like Christ. Like, renew my mindset daily. And so that's kind of what I'm learning. I'm just... I'm so excited about all the stuff that God is teaching me. Okay. I want to do like a super girly, like just feminine, soft look today. I'm so inspired by these freaking palettes. Like the lace closure here. Like, are you kidding me? It's so beautiful. And then, oh gosh, look at this freaking palette. Oh, I'm so obsessed with it. Sorry, I'm looking up at my viewfinder. So if you see me looking up, it's because of that. I'm trying to make sure that it's in focus and that you guys can see it. I want to know, I need to know what this texture is. Oh my gosh, it's like a cream highlighty color. Can you guys see that? Oh, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. But it has this gorgeous embossed detailing, like embossing detailing on it. Oh, it looks so beautiful. And so I have this blush, which is like a pinky or like a peachy nude color. Oh, it's barely showing up on my skin tone. It's gorgeous. It's definitely darker in real life than it's showing up as. And these colors are just so soft and so feminine. I need to swatch a few of these. And these palettes are so cheap. This was $9.99, okay? Like, do you understand how cheap that is for makeup? And it's this gorgeous. Look at those colors. Like, those are just gorgeous everyday colors. I wanted to get something that I would actually wear in real life, because some of my palettes I look at and I'm like, oh, you're beautiful. When will I wear you? Once a year? You know? They swatch really well. I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited. I haven't gotten new makeup in a while. I haven't gotten to play with new makeup in a while. This is exciting. And then this palette, like, this looks like my wet dream. Oh my gosh. Okay, I immediately need to go in with this strange one again. Like, it is the strangest consistency. It feels like jelly, like jelly. Very jelly. Oh, this one's more like, there's no color payoff. It's just kind of glossy. Which I know that these are also K-Beauty, and like for a while there, like the glossy, drippy, wet look was super in style. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna swatch this color. Oh, that's gorgeous. And the mattes are really nice too. They don't seem too powdery. Like, do you see these? Do you see that detailing? And that's this shade. Oh, I'm obsessed. And this one comes with a highlighter and then this dark shade. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm excited. I think I'm just gonna kind of play with both palettes. Hang on a second, let me get these swatches off, and then I'll swatch these colors. Oh, these are gorgeous. Like, the most perfect eye look can be created with that. I'm gonna hold it back here so you can actually see the real color. Like, I think I'm gonna use mostly these shades. That's gorgeous. In that case, I'm going to use the pinkier blush in this palette. This palette is darker than it looks. Like, according to my viewfinder, the way it looks, like, it's way darker. It's, oh gosh, that looks like fuchsia pink. It's not. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm working on just listening to what my body is trying to tell me, like with the depression, and see where my soul feels like it wants to go inside and process these things, and yet it's not allowed to, because depression is just compression, like a desire to go internal and process things that are no longer aligned with your life. And the beautiful thing about pregnancy is it really does force you to sit with your external world, and it really does make you evaluate. And I think that that's why a lot of pregnant women face like extreme emotions and extreme upset. Like, for example, a woman's cycle is 28 days, and she has these hormones building up, preparing for pregnancy each month, right? Well, it's also a cleansing of her soul every 28 days. And so as you get closer to your period, those frustrations, those facial breakouts, like, those are actually a sign of compressed anger. Like, you didn't express the anger that you felt towards something. Breakouts are. And then I'm gonna keep on doing my makeup so that this video isn't 15 years long like my last one. That's pigmented. Okay, so I'm just gonna take that up into underneath my eye because I haven't applied concealer yet. So each month you're actually invited into like a cleansing spiritually, and invited into evaluating your life and the things that no longer align with your life, and called to heal and release, or shed. In this modern world, I know it's a little harder to get into the connection and flow of it all. Like, this world is truly designed to make so that we're out of our element. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of concealer, and I'm going in with the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. This stuff is so cheap and so beautiful and so full coverage. I love it. I've been using it for a while now, and it's one of those things where I do repurchase this. I'm just gonna going in and highlighting my T-zone as well. So I'm trying to kind of balance out how to feed my hormone centers, what movement to take, what each energy center needs, like telling myself I am safe. So after 11 years of abuse and being yelled at 2 to 3 times a week for who I am by my first husband, I had a lot, like, that actually rewires your brain. And so I've been working through that, and I've been journaling, and I've been doing scream therapy, and I've been trying to release the trauma that was stored in my body, and having so much grace for myself how much it actually takes to rewire your brain. Your brain runs on like 400 billion bits of information per second, okay? And you are aware of 2,000, okay? So your subconscious mind is actually in control of a lot of your daily actions. And so I've been working on rewiring those actions, and that involves a lot of first releasing what was stored in my body, and then going in with positive affirmations, like just affirmations of healing, and trying to be more conscious of my 400 billion bits that are actually running Jamie, and so that I'm not traumatizing people with the trauma that I've been given. And so that's what I'm currently working on. And so through this process, I've ended up losing a lot of people because I've been setting boundaries, and the way I look at it is it's just making room for the new ones, the people who will accept the true Jamie, who will love the true Jamie for who she is. And I'm learning how to love myself and learning how to completely, unapologetically fall in love with the divine human that God created me to be. And so I'm meditating every day. Well, I try to. I'm also a pregnant mom. I'm 32 weeks pregnant, and everything takes energy. And so there are days where I choose to rest and choose to let my body heal in that way. And I sleep. And even just sitting and talking to the camera like this is bringing so much healing. I'm going to see how this cream product sits on top, because I really do need more blush. That, or we'll go in with a blush palette. That sounds like a better idea. But so those are some of the things that I've been doing to rewire my brain. And just sitting and like a lot of those negative thoughts, addressing them as they want to appear. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here all over my lid. And it's been a journey. I have been trying to make time to do yoga and stretch the pains out of my body. And I used to get sick all the time. This is actually the first time that I've been sick in a long freaking time. And it's usually because I don't, like, I've been trying to not let the stuff store up in my body. Okay, next I'm going to go in with this shade and this shade mixed together. The things that I have been doing is scream therapy or anger therapy, and just letting the anger of quieting my voice for so many years through molestation, being made to believe that I was somehow at fault for being molested as a young child, And this led up to thinking that my ex-husband was allowed to use my body and didn't have to respect my body. And so I've been learning how to work through that and how to release the trauma that was stored there, and learning how to connect with my inner child that is still there, and who Jamie was as a child, who I was actually designed to be. Next I'm going to go in with this shade and this palette, and I'll link these two palettes below because I just think they're absolutely amazing. Like, for the price, and the color payoff is not that bad. I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush and just try to concentrate that color into the crease even more. And then just taking it and kind of swooping it around my eye and continuing to blend this with windshield wiper motions. I've been starting to feel so much more at peace with who I am, and I've been learning how to love myself the way that God loves me, and letting my higher self take control, the part that is seated with God, and just tap into my divine nature, not just this human that was caught up in a whole bunch of programming, a whole bunch of subconscious programming. So I feel like my daughter is my greatest teacher in this. And like, for example, the other day I was bathing my daughter and I got her out of the tub, and I immediately told her that we have to dry off her feet so she doesn't drip on the floor. Why? Well, it's because little Jamie was taught that you're not allowed to, but why? Like, there's no reason. It's just water. She's fresh out of the tub. It's okay. Like, my floor gets mopped once a week. What are a few water droplets on the floor? And I create way more when I go to wash dishes. And so I'm just kind of like learning how to address those and see her as divine and not lead her out of fear. And something I discovered is that my fear is just my shadow self speaking out and trying to keep the world safe, because the world wasn't always safe for me. And so I'm learning how to bring safety to my system so that my daughter doesn't fear the world and doesn't expect bad things to happen to her, and then she won't attract that. It's a daily battle. Like, I don't want to call it a battle, but like, it is a battle with the 400 billion bits that I'm working against with my 2000. And so I'm learning how to have grace and be okay and love myself through it all, and yet grow and evolve as a human being. Anyway, it's all beautiful. It's all amazing. I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and I'm just going to pop that all over my lid with my finger. And I'm keeping it super diffused and super soft, just because I want a really soft look to tonight. That color is so freaking gorgeous. Holy cow. And now I'm just going to go in with a blender brush again and just diffuse those edges even more. Again, I want it soft. Next, I'm going to go in with like a little blender brush and this dark shade here and just run that underneath my eyes. They're very buildable. They're pigmented, like it's picking up the color, but they're very buildable, which I actually do not mind. They're user friendly. Like they're not terrifying to where like you're hoping and praying that that stain doesn't stay there for the rest of its life. I mean, the rest of your life. This palette is a little more rosy tone compared to this palette is a little more peachy tone, which like I love both of them. And I think I want to do a look where I use just this palette sometime and utilize just that palette because I'm doing literally mostly this palette. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it good on the eyes and go in with a wing liner. And I'm just going all the way across and trying to keep this super thin because I want to smoke out the eyeliner. I'm so sorry if you can hear my AC running in the background. It's like really, really hot here. And I need the AC running. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with an eyeliner pencil like this. And I'm just gonna wet the eyeliner pencil and then dip into this shade. And I'm just gonna drag that all the way out. And it's super soft. I mean, it's soft and yet full glam all at once. Just gonna take my nail and flick that out. Once again, my eyeliner is not the same, but you know what? It's not that deep. It's okay. They're sisters. They're not twins. I'm obsessed. Oh, I hope the camera's picking up how soft and beautiful this is. Okay, so before I go in with mascara and eyelashes, I'm going to do my face. I'm going to go in with some bronzer. There's this like bronzer shade right here that I might try. See how that is. It looks a little too, yeah, it's literally my face color. Okay. That might be a good winter shade. So I'm gonna go in with my tried and true, the love of my life bronzer. It's honestly like, they're okay. They're not that great. It's just, this came in one of those like BoxyCharm boxes. I used to have a subscription to BoxyCharm. And I stopped getting it because like it wasn't feasible in the last few years. And so I'm using up all of that makeup. And this just so happens to be one of the bronzers that I still have. One of the things that I'm trying to do is create a book on how to connect with yourself, how to release stored trauma from your body. I'm gonna take this and kind of run it along the bottom outer like third of my eye. And with this book, I want to show people how easy it can be to be spiritual, how divinely we're created, how well thought through everything that God does is. Like, you guys, there's so much stuff that I'm learning about the coding that we're written with, and how innately God created everything. Like, how divine it all is, how well thought through your creator is, and how we're just God experiencing the world. Like, we are just an extension of God. We're not apart from God. We're not fallen. We're not this awful thing that should have been thrown out of paradise. Like, we ourselves throw ourselves out of paradise. Like, the kingdom of God is within you. And I strongly believe that Jesus was just telling us how to do it. Like, Jesus said, you will do these things and more. And so that's all that I'm trying to do, is just trying to get my system to a place to where God can flow through me. And I'm bringing my highest timeline. I'm bringing as in heaven, so on earth. Okay. I need more blush. Blush palette is from Jaclyn Hill. From Jaclyn Cosmetics, I should say. I love this blush palette so much. I am so sad that she stopped making makeup, because, like, as you can tell, this thing is my favorite palette. I'm gonna go in with the shade Living Lavish, this one right here, and I'm going to apply that. And I'm going to connect my eyeshadow to, or my blush to my eyeshadow. That foundation is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's not heavy. It's creasing a little on my forehead lines, but, like, the valley does run deep on my forehead. I considered getting Botox, but, like, now that I'm on this whole, like, health journey and not wanting to put a whole bunch of, like, awful stuff, I say that and I'm just slapping the makeup on, like, lathering myself in makeup. Which I'm also trying to make a more conscious effort of what I'm putting on my face and all that stuff, and I don't wear a whole lot of makeup in my day-to-day. But every once in a while, I still just want to go full beat, full glam. I am just okay with having fun, and I believe that I'm divinely protected through it all. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to rediscover who God made me to be. Like, before the world told me that it's not okay to be me. And it's just a lot of rewriting, a lot of recoding. There's a few meditations that I've written out and discovered and figured out how to rewire my brain, and breath work I've discovered. Like, you guys, Jesus said he's a breath of life, and, like, breath work is one of the most healing things you can do. And, like, I'm telling you, the Bible is a book of codes, and they took a lot of the coding out. And if you ever want to go on a wild journey, just start. Everyone has different terms, and I don't think that anyone's wrong. Like, the more that I study religions, the more that I read other religions. Like, I'm reading about Buddha. Turns out Buddha and Jesus had a lot of the same stuff to say. Turns out that, like, everyone has the same stuff to say. Like, Christians call it praying. Science calls it quantum entanglement. Witches call it casting a spell. Like, no one's denying it. No one's saying that it isn't real. I'm just discovering that no matter what perspective humans put on it, it's God. No matter what you want to label it, like, you can say that it's the universe. The universe is experiencing itself through you. And you're right, like, you're made of stardust. You're like, if you look at pictures of trees and lungs, it's the same thing. If you look at how a cell is born and how a star dies, like, it looks the same. Like, we were made with this divine nature, and no matter how much people try to separate God and science, like, they're the same. Like, God is science. Science is, like, God isn't science. God isn't everything. I just stopped believing that he's just this one thing. And I opened my mind to how the system is actually ruling the world, and the system wants us to stay small. Like, for example, I'm going to try and do a free birth, a sacred free birth, because I believe that birth is one of those things that was stolen from women by the system. And there's so much fear that is drilled into us about pregnancy and about birth, and there's no need to fear it at all. Like, God designed my body to do this. And so that's actually one of the reasons why I started really getting into resetting my nervous system. Is my first birth, so much of it was an activation, so much of it was a discovery of how much is actually stolen, how much energy is harvested from births, and how you invite every Dick, Dan, and Harry into the labor room, and, like, I want to calm my body down to where it feels safe to birth, and I want to have my birth be as mammal-like as possible. And it's okay if this isn't for you. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong for wanting what you want with where you're at. I'm just trying to tell you where I'm at. And I believe that birth is a sacred dance between you, your baby, and God. And so that's what I'm tapping into. That's what I'm doing. All these products are so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I can't stop obsessing over my makeup. Like, are you kidding me? It's beautiful. This is so much fun. Like, here's what I love about God. Like, and love about just being authentically yourself. Turns out that authenticity is, like, the highest vibration. And I want to do a video about vibrations and, like, your different levels of vibrations and everything. But today, God, I sat down and I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about, God. And I just let God flow. I asked for my highest self to step in, and I want to keep doing this so that a lot of this stuff is channeled, and it's just beautiful, straight from heaven messaging. But there's, like, hopelessness and depression is like a level 20 vibration. And then like acceptance is 300. Like pride is at like a 190. Anger is at like a 200, that kind of thing. And then like a lot of Jesus's words vibrate at like 700. I love Jesus. And he was just like this really wise person who vibrated at a 700, which is unconditional love. God, like, that starts to vibrate at 900. Turns out that when you are authentically yourself, completely unapologetically, like, this is just who I am, it's at like an 1100. Like, authenticity, just authentically being yourself. And I'm sitting here and I'm just allowing myself, my highest form, to flow through me, and it's like the greatest feeling. I'm putting on beautiful makeup, doing what I love, and it's amazing. Like, it literally makes me want to cry. Ugh. I'm gonna go in with some lashes. They're the same pair, literally the exact same pair that I used in the previous video. I wore them once and I took them off. And I filmed that over a week ago. And I haven't used them since. And I reuse my lashes because, like, your girl is on a budget. I'm so obsessed with my daughter. On a different note, like, I love her so much. She's almost 20 months old. And she is the biggest character I've ever met. Like, watching her grow and watching her, like, become her own person, like, become her own personality and stuff. And she's a fire sign. She's a Sagittarius. And I adore that little girl and her fiery character. Like, I can't. Oh, she's so funny. She's busy. Holy cow, today I, as a traumatized person, so my ex used to yell at me a lot about how messy my house was, and just how messy I am as a human being. Turns out I was super, super depressed and literally had no motivation to clean my space. And a lot of my inner world was reflected in my outer world. Like, I didn't have, like, a lot of my thoughts felt chaotic. And so I'm learning that cleaning my space and actually resetting my physical space helps my mental space process. And so during the day, when I suddenly realized that the house is destroyed and that my little toddler has somehow, like, just destroyed the house, it feels overwhelming to my system. And this is why I'm so, like, so adamant on rewiring your subconscious programming, because I really, I don't want to feel that overwhelmed when my daughter's just being a child and she wants to clear out my kitchen cabinets for the 15th time that day. And I'm learning how to breathe in those moments, learning how to reset. And today it started getting the best of me because I was trying to clean my house while she was awake, and maybe that was on me. Maybe that it was on me for trying to do that. But, like, I just needed a clean space. I needed that reset. And a lot of anger came up. And so I went into the next room and I just screamed into a blanket. And so that it would be muffled. And she kind of comes in and she just looks at me and she watches me. And she goes over and she grabs a blanket and she just screams into it. She's So funny. I love her so much. Here today, she couldn't get the pans to get out of the cabinet. So this was frustrating to her. So she throws her binky and then stomps over to the oven and grabs off the tea towel that I had hanging on the oven and just goes, oh, I love her so much. Like, watching her pick up on those little techniques and on those little tips and tricks that I've been just showing her, you know, mommy's human. Like, I still haven't sprayed my face. I like spraying my face twice just because I feel like it makes it soak into my skin a little more. But like watching her do that is so encouraging, and also like I hope that she like helps her fire sign out, like even if I'm learning it so that she doesn't have to and she can just learn from me. Like kids will learn from your actions, not just what you're saying. There's some mornings where my depression is heavy and I need to sit in bed and cry for a while. And I've been doing EFT tapping and doing stretches and kind of trying to let the depression move through me and asking myself what I need in that moment and just trying to take care of my body. And she'll stay in bed with me and she'll do the things with me, and it's like having a little best friend, but I'm teaching her how to cope with life so that she's not 30 with her daughter and learning how to mother herself, because that shit is hard. And she knows how to move the pain through her body. She knows how to deal with life, and I didn't think that it's more important to send her off to some school that's teaching her about fucking parallelograms rather than how to deal with a person being really mean to you, or how to find self-worth in this world. Anyway, now I'm crying. Can't ruin any of my makeup. While my lash glue is drying, I'm actually going to go in with a highlighter. I used this highlighter last time too. It's the Jaclyn Cosmetics loose highlighter in Extra. Again, so sad that your company is no longer going. I love her makeup so much, and I still have so much product left that I'm like, I'm gonna use it. But I will link everything that is in stock on or in the description below. Okay, and this is just gonna look super intense for a second because I'm going to cake it on there and then I'll blend it out. Like, are you kidding me? Do you see that? Oh, so gorgeous. Another thing that I'm working on is how to rewire your brain to receive. You guys, I was so blocked in my receiving and in my feminine. Like, I was so in my masculine, and I'm learning how to balance the two and how to be feminine and how to receive, how to nurture myself, all the stuff. And it has been like so hard. Like, that sounds so stupid. How it's been so hard to learn how to receive, but like, it's been humbling. Like, I didn't even realize that pride gets in the way of receiving so often until I had to make a post because I literally didn't have the funds to feed my daughter that week. And I don't want to say that it was my spirit team breaking me, but it was a test of character. Like, are you truly ready to receive? Can you ask for help? Can you be humble enough to ask for help? Like, it broke me hearing my guide say that I need to ask for help. And like, my pride wanted to get in the way, and I did not want people to know that I'm struggling. I love the spiritual journey. Sometimes it's really, really hard. Okay. I love all the products that I got. Good buys. I will definitely link them below because holy cow, like, my makeup is gorgeous today. And I really hope that the camera is picking up the true, like, just soft, rosy, gorgeous tones. I wonder how many times I've said gorgeous. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take that loose highlighter and blend. That's intense. And really, really blend all of that out. Oh, my light died. That's okay. I guess it's time to wrap up the video. And then for lips today, I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline Superstay Teddy Tint, you guys. I freaking love this so much. And then I'm gonna top it with MAC lipstick in Mirror. First, I'm just gonna wipe off the foundation that I have on my lips. And this stuff is amazing. It's so long wearing, and like once it's on, it doesn't transfer. It barely transfers. And once it's kind of dried, and you can build it, like you can make it super just soft and feminine and like super wearable, and just blend it all out. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And then I'm gonna go in. This is literally not needed. You do not need to put a lipstick on top. I just love these two colors mixed together. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go in with this Revlon Super Lustrous Glimmer in the shade 1 or Diamond Drama. Pop that on top. And if you guys want access to those meditations that I was talking about, I will gladly send you the meditations. I'll see if I can upload them on some kind of link, like some kind of downloadable link for free somewhere, because they have helped me out so much. And then I will also try to find or try to finish my chakra thing that I've been wanting to finish, like the little chakra help guide of what foods to eat, what feeling is stored in what center, like headaches, those are tied to your crown and your third eye chakra, and like what to do for that. And a sore throat, like it's tied to your throat chakra, what to do for that. And just the different foods you can eat to help I'm gonna spray my face again. What foods to eat with your chakras, and just the different things that you can do, and the different techniques you can do to reset each center. Anyway, so much love. I will try to include some close-ups of the eye look this time. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Hopefully this video helped. Thank you for staying. Thank you for watching. Thank you for just being here, listening to me ramble. So much love, you guys.